lull you into lazy living approach to work. I call it the couch potato mentality. It says, I can't possibly keep up to date on OH topics like nano, what? Get certified? Ain't nobody got time for that. I got an example for you. Let's take Slothful Sal. She thinks an OH program is having a plan and taking samples. She's got hundreds of points of data. She ain't doing nothing with it except making boring reports that nobody reads. Or, in Slothful Sally's company, safety's the star. Occupational hygiene is just that forgotten stepchild. But Slothful Sal, she doesn't mind. She doesn't do anything to try to get OH into the limelight. Too much work. Or you could be Can't Be Bothered Bill. He's got a consultant taking the samples, never gets out on the floor, never looks to see how people are actually using them chemicals. Oh no, he can't be bothered. Every time some odd data shows up in his reports that come back in from the lab, his knee-jerk reaction is, oh, that's just a blip. It's an outlier. Let's just take another sample. Everything's gonna be just fine. That's crazy. Then I can tell you about Slacker Sam. He's responsible for hearing conservation. When it got real loud in Department B, he said, good thing we got them defenders for everybody. Why, he never thinks about looking at the source, where that source of the noise is coming from. He thinks the solution to every OH problem is PPE. Oh my goodness, he needs to learn how to use that PPE, apparently. PPE everywhere, goodness. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Why, the folks in Slacker Sam's company, they're not too happy with Slacker Sam. Now seriously, what does a good and an active occupational hygienist really do? Think about it. You need to fuel your passion. Get your brain in gear and use it, right and left side. Think about getting on the OH learning path and keep learning. I got my certification just a few years ago. You can teach an old dog new tricks. Stick your neck out. Find creative ways to use your data, like comparing exposures by task and engaging the people that are doing it to find best practice. And make reports for your managers that they're simple and to the point, that they can understand them. Stick your neck out. Try new metrics to support continuous improvement. For example, make a noise scorecard, or look at the number of associates exposed above 85 decibels as a key KPI. Think about piggybacking. Who knows what piggybacking is? It's jumping onto other programs that have momentum in your company and finding a way to get the momentum of what's moving already. I do that with plant optimization in my company, which is part of operational excellence. Above all, be passionate and appreciate the people you work with and that you work for. Get out there on the floor, smile to reduce stress, it actually does, and motivate other people by your example. Now, no one really wants to be a lazy slob OH, right? It's kind of a trap that we all can fall into unwillingly through seemingly endless routine, excessive stress, and a lot of other reasons, one of which is maybe missing the big picture. So, the big picture. Slacker Sam and Slothful Sal, they were stuck inside of a box, the work box. Do you sometimes feel like you're stuck in a routine? To keep our OH passion burning, we need to think outside of that box, the work box. Occupational hygiene is so much more than a job, and I'm glad. I love it. Why are we working in this field? And what's the reason that you do the job that you do every day? Let's look beyond the work to the people whose lives we are impacting long-term, hopefully. Good OH programs mean people have a better chance to enjoy family and to retire healthy. Each life inside that work box touches a life outside of it, and that life touches another life. Just like the long-term effects of some hazardous substances don't manifest themselves into illness until years later, we probably won't see the latent fruit of the work that we're doing in individuals' lives. But you have an important job, so don't be a lazy slob OH. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much for that. I think you hit the nail on the head. It's so easy to get comfortable sometimes with what you're doing. And I think as hygienists, we love doing our job. In the conference so far, it's about all the opportunities and things that we want to be doing, and it's about staying sharp. And most of us love doing that. We like to keep learning, but we need to keep doing that.
There's another point as well that you said about old dogs. There's a lot of rough dogs in this room, so I think we can still teach them new tricks.
So next up, we've got Kelvin, and this is going to be It's All in Your Mind.
Okay, ready? Yeah. Okay. As a 10-year-old kid, I used to read this blood-soaked, violent version of Beano called Action Code. It got banned, which made it heavenly perfection for me as a 10-year-old. But then why it got banned? There was an episode in there where a guy got boiled up in a bath of sulfuric acid. Okay. So I got the notion as a 10-year-old that sulfuric acid is very, very bad for you. A little later, I'm getting my first chemistry lesson in school, and the teacher dumps on the desk a bottle of sulfuric acid. And I kid you not, my skin crawled, my eyes watered, and what I was suffering from was the nocebo effect, which is the opposite of placebo. Placebo convinces you it's going to do good, whether it does or not. Nocebo is the opposite, and that's what I was suffering from. And I was fascinated by that, even as a 10-year-old, that I could react that way, okay? Now, in workplaces, you see guys sometimes who are previously well until they read the latest MSDS that comes through. Or until they meet you, when you turn up, and you say, what are you working with? Oh my goodness. Next day, all the workers are suffering, okay? So you've got to be careful what you're saying when you're out there in the workplace. You need to be really cognizant of just how powerful the nocebo effect can be. For example, I was in a workplace recently where they reckoned that the lighting was going to be a problem in this workplace. And the section manager used to say, everybody who comes to this workplace gets migraine headaches, okay? And so what do you get? You get everybody in the workplace coming on and getting migraine headaches. Or sick building syndrome, I would put to you, is like a sufferer of mass hysteria, nocebo type reactions. I had an office once where there was a funny smell in the office, and people were coming at me with asthma, bad backs, headaches, skin problems, all sorts. And here was the culprit, okay? I found this above the ceiling, and this is what people were reacting to. We had a very awkward management presentation at the end of my investigation. Now, for a lot of these issues, they tend to find that kind of low-grade symptoms are going on, they're in large open plan offices, perhaps where there's not much stimulation, often there's a trigger event, more often there's a persuasive personality to spread the hysteria around. But it can be a lot more serious than that. I dealt with a city institution where a guy collapsed and was taken off in an ambulance, and it was medically unexplainable. There were a few other people involved as well. The common factor seemed to be the working environment. Now I picked up that there was another common factor in this situation, okay? And rather than look at the environment, I checked out the sickness absence records, and I found that anybody who was anywhere near the chief executive officer tended to go down ill. So I produced a very unpopular report and was never invited back. And a lady who was convinced that her office was causing her problems. And in the first instance, she said, there's a carpet stain. I got this terrible chest problem since this carpet stain was there. That proved to be a negative. Then she was sure it was the photocopier. She sat over there where the red arrow is. It was like no matter whatsoever that there's 40 other people in this office who were completely unaffected. She was seriously ill. She was off work with sickness absence because of her reaction somehow to this workplace environment. In a school I visited, there was a lady with severe asthma, eczema. I met this lady. She was really ill and distressed. The GP told her it was workplace related. Now I checked this workplace out, couldn't find anything whatsoever, and it became clear to me there was a complicated, knotty issue going on in this lady somewhere. And she was like self-stigmatized, some kind of emotional problem in her life, and it was expressing itself in this so-called workplace problem that she had. Now these problems, if I read around, I find that about 30% of GP visits are for folk who turn up with no medical explanation for their symptoms. Here's the takeaway from this slide, okay? In these situations, the illness the person has serves a purpose. Consciously or unconsciously, it is serving a purpose for them. So what do we as a hygienist do about this? Well, the approach I take is to try and eliminate one cause of it, to give other professionals some traction on the problem. I see myself as one of these Roman soldiers chucking these spears that had a hard head with a soft iron stand in it. it would stick in somebody's shield, and the guy had to put the shield down. He couldn't fight with a spear in it. And the hygienist report serves that purpose. It drops the shield that there's something in the working environment, and then when you get around the table with the professionals, you are giving the other professionals some traction on resolving this person who is suffering whatever, dissociative conversion disorder or whatever it happens to be. Okay? That's the role that we can play as hygienists. Finally, you think you're not immune to this kind of thing? Consider laughter. Laughter is like the ultimate somatizing effect of an emotional response. Your eyes water, your lungs contract in an uncontrollable way. We're all subject to it. Be alert to it. It's more common than you think out there, folks.
Fantastic, thank you very much, Kelvin, that was great. I've always said that we're the first line of defence for everything as hygienists, so fantastic. Cool. So yeah, next up we have, as I titled him earlier, the baby-faced assassin, or anti-terrorist team member now. So Craig's going to come and do his take on how maybe the TV series 24 needs a hygienist.
Hello. You're probably wondering, oh, can you go back up? This side, is it? Oh, could you start again, sorry? Okay. You're probably wondering what this presentation was about. Perhaps it's my age, or could it be my IQ? Well, I'm 35 and my IQ is 35. Which is quite high for a Glaswegian, so it's not that. So this is Jack Bauer. He is a federal agent IH advisor for the CTU, and he's got a DHS diploma. He was going to go for the CIH, but it was too easy for him, so he wanted to get a proper qualification. Jack Bauer needs to sleep. I think there's a few of you in the bar at that time looking very similar to Jack Bauer. Having a bit of a nap. What's that, between 11 and 5. Thought of the last night. He slept through his alarm, so he's got his young IH assistant going to wake him up. Obviously we've all done that, sleep through alarm before a big work survey. He's 15 seconds along now. Oh, he's finally woke up. That actually reminds me a wee bit of Megan when she tasted haggis for the first time. Anyway, so he's finally woke up and he's getting ready to go to work. As he's got the DHS diploma, he gets to drive a nice car. David Eves has got an Audi A5. I think it's pink. Is it pink, David? A nice pink Audi A5 because he's got the diploma. So that's him driving to work. Here he is in the morning with his IH advisor discussing his monitoring, his plan of attack for the day. Noise surveys, exposure monitoring, exposure assessments, walkthrough surveys. So they're discussing that for an hour. As a good hygienist, he likes to test his equipment before he goes out. I think that's an EMF meter. So if we're at the discussion today, he was testing it. That's picking up magnetic radiation. That's a flame ionisation detector. So it detects hydrocarbons, the flame gets bigger. So that's a really useful monitoring tool. So he's just testing that before he goes out. Did a bit of research here on the dose response for chloroform. Some of you last night were doing some research on the dose response for ethanol. Some of you were more professional than others. I think you know where you are. That's him doing his walkthrough survey. He's doing a quick look for asbestos, signage, chemical storage. I don't know where empty green dots are, but maybe that's from a bad photo that I took. As he was doing his walkthrough survey, he found some radioactive gas canisters that hadn't been sealed properly. So that was the important thing about getting out in the field to do his field verification. So as he saw that, he obviously got his colleague to come and assess the risk. You can see there he's going out with his, I guess that's the Geiger counter, I don't know, I'm revolution radiation. Just make sure he's obviously detected some, and he's going to sort of reseal it, which is also good. Here he is doing some medical surveillance. He's just checking the guy's pulse to made sure he's safe to get his medical injections, which is nice of him. He's very considerate. He's now about to get it, so Jack strapped him in case he fainted and fell off the seat. So that's another very considerate approach from Jack. Obviously, he's worried that this guy's going to fall and bang his head, so that's another nice one. I got a couple of questions in the field about fit testing and clean shaving policy. So he had to go out and explain that it's not a tight fit face piece, so you don't need it. So he helped people. This is his exposure assessment. And I think he's really got to work in the soft skills there. I like to start with some small talk like, where are you going on holiday? Then I ask him, this is him on the Meet the Member. I think it's the next month's edition. And a typical day, there's no typical day. Because that's what they all say. But if you want more detail, just refer to Series 1 to 8. This is him at last year's Ignite session. He presented in London.